7th, Elizabeth Grant, Recitation. Between the end of Howl and the beginning of the next recitation, the raid takes place. One of the three men wears a cross around his neck. Jesus folds his hands. Grant is to be seen as a dancer. For a fraction of a second, the made-up, something happens, explodes, very briefly once again. And then again Grant as a dancer, again the made-up, turmoil. Anon Grant as a dancer. God lets his revolver spin around, the raid is over, and while the three men flee, begins Grant with the recitation. And so, from being created in his likeness, to being banished from wanting to be too much like him, we were cast out, and the Garden of Eden transformed into the Garden of Evil. We see as the perpetrators flee, God puts his rival in his arm, in his likeness, as John Wayne does in many of his films. The three men leave the room, the door closes, cast out, and we see Grant as a dancer as she presses bills on her upper body. Garden of Eden. Los Angeles, the city of angels, a land of gods and monsters, the in-between realm where only the choices made from your free will decide your soul's final fate. Some poets called it the entrance to the underworld, but on some summer nights it could feel like paradise. Paradise lost. Los Angeles, the city at night, brightly lit. This reminds me of ultra-violence. We see briefly the gang, and most of all the guests who recover from the raid and call the police. The gang members raise their weapons into the sky. Final fate. And the made-up mill around in panic. Some poets called it the entrance to the underworld. Grant and Ross side by side. But on some summer nights, it could feel the gang members start to shoot. Like paradise. Paradise lost. The empty, shattered, sad, desperate face of Mary in close-up. Lightning. Mary prays us already at the beginning, "Dear John, forgive us our sins." John has put his rival on his shoulder now. Master of the universe, creator of all, forgive us our sins. Dear John, forgive us our sins. Mary prays further on. A cloudy sky in time-lapse, the sun is rising, a new day begins. John, God, begins with the recitation, a shallow in the background. But on some summer nights, it could feel like paradise. Could I? The lost paradise. Thank you for listening.